Hello, everybody. We are live. Hello, if you could put your city and state in the chat. I'd love to see everybody with it. We just want to see how many people are on here live. And also, if you can hear me, just type in "I can hear you," so I feel good about everything. We are super excited. There's just so much been going on. We did, I think, a lot of lives through the end of last year, and we are going again. And what we decided to do was um, hire a full-time videographer. So he's been here, and he is 100% trained and bringing all sorts of expertise. And we came out with a video, if you haven't seen it, called "Come with Us to the Quilt Show." It's on the YouTube, Sold Online YouTube, and it is awesome. We go to the whole quilt show. It's an hour and 11 minutes long, and you see all sorts of people of our educators, everyone. It was a blast. So it's super cool. Um, and we've been filming, so we decided, okay, now we can get our live streams going again. We are going to start off with just bi-weekly. So the next one will be in 2 weeks from today, not next week. And then we'll probably do members only calls will be coming up um, as well. So we're just getting back into this, and there's a lot we have. Um, on top of that, we have, what else do I have going on? I can't remember. Well, I know we got some live streams scheduled with Grace with Long Arms. I know we have plans to bring up more IQ stuff from Stephanie and some other IQ professionals. I know that shout out to Michelle. She has been just in the office in studio with me, planning, organizing usage videos for all the machines. And then at the same time, Jan has became an absolute superstar all over the internet. So that's what's been going on. I'm just super excited to be back with everybody. This one is a video we filmed a few years ago with Patti. I'm bringing it out. She was also at the show. She's coming to the store to teach this. I thought it was super great. I want to give a great shout out to Patti, and that's at greatcopypatterns.com. I'm going to put her link there too. Anything you see here, you can buy directly at her website. And I'd love for you to go over there, show her some love, tell her we sent you. So let's play this video. After this, I have another video. First one is something like 27 minutes. And then I'm going to play a second video for you for 15 minutes. And then we're going to be here live with Jan answering your questions. So thanks again, everyone, being here. Let's get started.
Hello, I'm Patti Otto from Great Copy Patterns, here for Sew It Online. And today I'm going to talk about all the different knits out there. Well, I'm not going to be able to do all of them because there are hundreds and hundreds of variations. But I'm going to get you to be more comfortable with sewing knit fabric. I've been sewing knits for over 40 years now. I wear them, I sew them, I have patterns for them. And I think once you get these techniques down and the knowledge behind it, you're going to be very successful. Now, I break knits into two main categories: single knits and double knits. And then, of course, there's lots of variations of each of those. First thing we're going to talk about is a single knit. And I do this thing called the Alice in Wonderland teaching method. I make things really big or really small. So this is the knit enlarged, and this is the right side of the knit. You have warp threads, you have weft threads, very similar to language to a woven fabric, but it's constructed entirely different. So this is the right side of the fabric, and this is the wrong side of the fabric. Now, if you're a knitter, you know what this right and wrong side looks like. This is the knit side stitch. This is the purl stitch. And like a men's t-shirt, or the teacher's t-shirts you buy at the chain store, they are going to be a single knit. Now, the advantage of a single knit is that generally it does not have a lot of stretch to it. And here is a single knit. Has a little bit of stretch, a little bit of give, great wearing ease without overstretching. And they are great for beginners to sew with. What you will notice is the knit curls, and single knits do that. They curl. Cross grain, they curl to the right side. Lengthwise grain, they curl to the wrong side. And a single knit, it's very easy to judge the right and wrong side, especially if it's a print. Here is a single knit with some lycra, and that's going to have a little more stretch and give to it, and it's going to rebound really nice. And we'll talk about stabilizing that knit a little bit later. Now there's lots of different fibers that they use with single knits. I showed you some cotton and some cotton lycra. Bamboo is very popular, and I love this for summer. It's very lightweight, very breathable. It does wrinkle, so I tend to pick the prints, which don't show the wrinkles, but great for sundresses and tanks and pajamas, especially in the summer. And bamboo rayon is, and they usually combine it with lycra. Now, rayon is generally made from a tree or a fibrous pulp, but it is chemically enhanced to form that fiber. It is not like an organic cotton. Another one I like is just called rayon jersey, and that's generally made with tree pulp. If you find something called modal, M-O-D-A-L, that is made specifically from birch trees. It's a little more expensive, has a little more body to it, depending on the weave and the weight of the yarn that they use. But those are some natural fiber single knits. Of course, we have lots of other knits. French terry. French terry is a single knit, and I've used that for my Soho tunic. I like to use the reverse of the fabric, and I brought the reverse to the right side, and it makes a really great pullover. And generally your French terry are going to have a cotton component. Now there are lots of knits out there that have initials on them, and I know it can be really confusing. This one is called DTY. It's called Drawn Twist Yarn. What they do is it's a poly lycra, and they draw that yarn while they knit it. And a lot of them are brushed, which means it's super, super soft. Generally lightweight. Once again, it is a single knit, so you're going to have some curling. The advantage, though, is a lot of these new knits are breathable. And I know when I first heard of breathable polyester, I thought, oh, that can't be right, because I'm at that point in my life where I need breathability. But they are very comfortable to wear. The one thing polyester does is fabulous colors. And that you'll notice that in this DBP, double brushed poly. And it's brushed on both sides. Also a single knit, very soft. If you're looking for pajamas or just a tank, very, very soft. But once again, a single knit. A piqué knit, like a golf shirt, is also a single knit. Generally, they are cotton or have a cotton component. But you will notice, even my travel sample here, there is some curling, and we will get to that. One of my favorite knits are the microfiber polylycra knits. And these are also breathable. As I said, the poly does great color. The lycra makes them very comfortable to wear. But these microfibers are done with a super fine hair, and those are breathable. I wouldn't have believed it. And we have lots of other microfiber knits. Velour is a single knit. A lot of these minky type knits will curl, and so it's like a brushed single knit. And there's lots of different weights and different weights out there. Now, how do we control that curl? One of the things I do, if it's a natural fiber like my cottons and my rayons, my bamboo, I do pre-wash those in cold water, and I use a powdered detergent, and I'll tell you why in just a second. Your polylycra knits are considered needle ready, and what that means is you don't need to pre-wash those. They don't have a lot of fuzz on them. They have a little bit of sizing, which is great for handling that fabric while you are sewing. So here's one of the things I do to control that curl. This is a product called Best Press, and it is much superior to spray starch. First of all, you can use a really hot iron if needed. I've used my industrial iron on white linen on the hottest setting, and it's never scorched. The other thing is Best Press will not flake. So what I do is I pre-treat my fabric. Now here is tricot, and this is a really soft single knit. Look at that. And a lot of seamstresses will look at me and say, oh, I'll never sew with that. Well, I've treated that tricot with Best Press, and now it is stiff like a cotton, but still maneuverable. And it will simply soften as I work with it, and it simply washes out. So you want that Best Press in your sewing room, and you want to use it on your knits. Quite often what I will do, especially with my knits that curl, is I will cut out and I will spray the hems. And if I'm having trouble the neck area, I recommend that for beginners, as well as my neckband. And I allow that to dry, and then I iron it with a warm iron, and that stiffens it for construction. Now, what's great about the Best Press is I can also use it. I can also press it wet. So if I want to sew right away, I can press it wet. Now, I get asked about Terrial Magic all the time. Terrial Magic is way too stiff for these soft knit garment sewings. I want something that's going to stiffen it just enough so that it can easily manage that fabric. Now, I have a piece of knit, and this has lycra in it. And what you will notice is I have a lot of curling. And especially your natural fibers, they do tend to curl a lot. So what I do is, if I have a single knit, is I purchase an extra 1/8 of a yard. I am not going to sit there and try to press all of this curl flat. What I'm going to do is I will ignore those curls, and I'll place my pattern right here. And I'll cut off those curls. Now, as you work with the fabric, you'll get slight curling, but this curling happens during washing. And so what do I do with that? I use that to tie up my tomato plants because it's nice and soft and very stretchy. I've used it for gift ties, lots of things we can do with those curls. But managing the fabric with the Best Press, and also trying not to work with the really curly edges, will make things much easier for you. So those are just some of the single knits that are out there. Now we're going to get into the next category, And these are double knits. Could also be interlock. There's lots of different weaves. There's lots of different fabric blends. But what you will notice with an interlock is it looks the same on both sides. Now what that means is on occasion it can be hard to tell what's the right and wrong side. Obviously, if the fabric is a print, you will be able to very easily distinguish it. But you will notice along the sides of the fabric, quite often they will have little pokies, and I don't have it on this sample. But what they've done is they've taken that fabric and they've stretched it out on a rack, and you have the little pokies, and that points to the right side of the fabric. And that's real important, especially on your high-end knits. They may have applied an anti-pill finish or something to the right side, and that right side will wear differently than the wrong side. So you want to be consistent throughout that garment. If you come across an interlock knit that says 30 inches tubular, what it is a tube of fabric 30 inches wide. The total is 60 inches because almost all knits are knit in a circle. So on that fabric, the outside of that tube is going to be the right side. Now, here is my sample, and you will notice the little pokies that go into the fabric on the wrong side. And here they are. They're coming out of the fabric on the right side. So I would make sure I'm consistently using the right side of the fabric for the outside of the garment. Now, double knit and interlock quite often are used interchangeably. Here is a cotton or cotton blend interlock. Here's a double knit, and a double knit is just an interlock using heavier yarns, and it is using interlocking threads. Here's the cross section of a double knit, and what you're going to notice is the red thread here goes from the front of the fabric to the back of the fabric and back to the front. So it's using multiple yarns. They're interlocked from the right side of the fabric to the wrong side of the fabric. And it's done, as I said, with multiple yarns. And that's what you're going to find in an interlock or a double knit. And of course, there's lots of different weaves out there. So that's what a double knit looks like. Now we have lots of different double knits. This is very popular. It's called Patti de Roma and is a mid-weight double knit. And a lot of your double knits nowadays are not all polyester. They are combining polyester with cotton, with wool. I've seen some with linen, with rayon. And when you combine multiple threads, what happens is that fabric takes the benefits of both of those threads. So let's say I have a poly wool blend. It has the stability and wrinkle resistance of polyester. It has the breathability and that softness of wool. And those fibers are combined. And it has the properties of both fabrics, the best properties. So you're going to have more breathability with the wool. The polyester is going to have great dye capabilities, and it's really going to give you a nice fabric. It's great for pants and jackets and skirts and lots of different fabric. Here's a Patti Ligaro. It's very similar to the Patti de Roma, but it's a little lighter weight, and it has some lycra in it, so that gives you great stretch for leggings and lots of other fabrics. A fairly new fabric is called the Liverpool knit, and this is a double knit. It feels kind of spongy, and it has a texture to it. And there's lots of different textures with this Liverpool knit. It's a poly lycra knit. It's got some body to it, which is really great. And that's what I've used for my lounger pattern. This one has a V-neck cowl and a V-neck hood, but this has a texture to it, and that is a Liverpool knit. And those are great. Those are great knits also. Another one that I really like, and I put it in the double knit category, is the interlock twist yarn. This is another one of those with initials. And what they do is they don't twist the yarn really tight. And so your yarn, if you pull a piece, the yarn looks like woolly nylon or textured nylon. And what that allows that fabric to do is be breathable, even though it's a polyester. And they generally mix it with lycra. What I love about it is the great colors. Okay, here's a top I made out of an ITY knit, and it's almost 10 years old. It looks brand new. And that's because I take care of these. It's a good quality fabric. And what I do to take care of my really nice poly knits is I use a powder detergent. These fabrics are hydrophobic, which means they do not attract water. When I take it out of the washer, it weighs almost as much as when it went in. If I use a liquid detergent, it penetrates the fiber so deeply that it doesn't rinse out completely. And when you have a soap residue that's really hard on fabric, it attracts dirt, you get much more abrasion. So I use powder detergent on all of my fabrics. And here's another great fabric. This is a Polar Tech. This is my North Bay accessories. And this is from Malden Mills. And I only use powder detergent on my outerwear fleece. And Polar Tech has actually said if you use a liquid detergent, you need to rinse that 5 or 6 times. The next fabric I'm going to touch on is called Scuba. And this is a top I made out of Scuba. One of the things Scuba does great body. And Scuba is actually 2 fabrics that are knit together, and then there's a fiber that goes back and forth between the 2 knits as they're knitting it. So what that does, it gives this fabric a spongy feeling. And it actually has great body to it. If you have a dress with a lot of structure to it, maybe a flounce, a tall collar, Scuba is a great fabric for that. The other thing Scuba knits do is great color. Now, unfortunately, Scuba knits don't breathe very well. So you do have to be careful. I certainly wouldn't make a sundress out of it. But if you're looking for just that perfect dress for that perfect event, you might want to consider using Scuba. Comes in lots of different weights, and it also comes in some great textures, which would be really fun to play with. But if you look at the cut edge really close, you can see those fibers going back and forth. Now, one of the things that, and I do my research, is a lot of these Scuba knits are labeled neoprene. And they're not neoprene. They're spongy like neoprene, but this is neoprene. And neoprene is spongy. And that's what they make scuba suits out of, so that's why they called that knit Scuba. Your can cozies, lunch boxes, things like that. But Scuba fabric is not neoprene, and these were labeled as neoprene, but they're not. So just because it says neoprene, don't be fooled by that. Now, how do we sew these knits? Needles are extremely important when it comes to sewing these knits. And I like to give this demonstration here. This is from my friends at Schmetz. And here is a universal needle. What you will notice is taper at the tip and a slightly blunt tip. So if you hear needles called a semi-ballpoint, that's going to be a universal needle. And I find for a lot of my projects, both woven and some knits, a universal needle works great. Now, if we go down here, we have our sharp needles. We have our denim, our microtex, and as you'll notice, a very sharp tip. And I'll show you why you have skip stitches if you use one of those needles. Now, the middle here is a jersey or ballpoint. My personal favorite is the stretch needle, and you notice there is a difference between that and the ballpoint. The stretch needle has a slight taper to it and a blunt tip, whereas the jersey needle is more rounded and has a thicker point at it. So I find generally my stretch needle works, especially if I'm dealing with a very lightweight knit, a knit with lycra, things like that. I'm going to show you why you have problems. Here is a woven fabric, and you will notice I'm using a universal needle. And what it does is when it goes into the fabric, it actually pierces the thread of the fabric, goes into the throat plate, winds around the bobbin, and the take-up lever completes that stitch. Woven fabric is, compared to a knit, is very stiff, and this needle works well for that. Now, if I were to use a sharp needle on a knit, what happens is that needle grabs that soft knit fiber and it pulls it into the throat plate. And the stitch cannot complete, and that's where you get skip stitches. Ideally, you want a needle with a blunt tip so that it goes in between the fibers, goes through the fabric, around the thread goes around the bobbin, take-up lever brings it up, and that's what completes the stitch. So that's where your stretch needles come in, because with that rounded tip, it's not going to grab those threads and get skip stitches. Now, there's an easy way to seam your knits, and I want to talk about stabilizers. We talked about the best press, and this is a temporary stabilizer for construction. But I want you to consider any of your cross-grain seams, because your knits generally stretch cross-grain. When I do a shoulder seam, I use a permanent stay tape, so this shoulder seam does not grow. If my knit is very stretchy, I might apply that stay tape to the back neck edge. And I definitely do that for my boys, my grandsons, because they are just wild child. Okay, if you are having trouble with curly seams, and as you can see, this one isn't too bad, but this one is really curling. We're going to go back to our best press, and we're going to stiffen those seams, and that's going to be much easier to sew. Other thing you can do is a little glue stick or Wonder Tape, and that's going to help with those curly seams. When it comes to seaming, and before I got my serger, I did a lot of knits on my sewing machine. And one of the things I'm going to recommend for those of you that don't have a serger is the Elaflex thread. And you can learn more about that at Sew It Online. So here I have done a seam, and I've used my sewing machine. And once you're done, I know a lot of people say, oh, you need a wobble stitch. And no, you really don't. This is just an all-purpose thread, and the seam has a little bit of give to it. Any really stretchy seams are going to be stabilized. Your cross-grain seam, your neck edge, your hem, those are all going to be stabilized. So your lengthwise seams, just a regular straight stitch works fine. And once I'm finished with that, I'm going to go back and I'm going to zigzag that raw edge. Not because it frays, but to prevent the curling and reduce that bulk. Of course, your serger is ideal for sewing knits. A 3-thread, a 4-thread, all of those stitches are perfect for knits because they have a little bit of give to it, yet they can seam it and they compress that bulk. I have lots more tips in my patterns and also sew it online. So if you have questions while you're sewing, don't hesitate to contact me. Thank you for joining me. Again, this has been Patti Otto for Sew It Online.
Alrighty, so we are just gonna play one more. We got a little tips and tricks from my mom, how to do a blind hem. So this one's probably 15 more minutes. Then we're gonna have my mom live on here to answer questions. We're gonna do giveaways, so make sure you make it to the end.
Blind hem. So, blind hem. Why do you need that? How about your husband's pants? How about your own pants? How about attaching something to something? There's a lot of tricks with a blind hem stitch, and I find that a lot of people are afraid of it, or they just prefer to do it by hand. You know me, I don't do anything by hand. So let's go over how to do a blind hem. Let's first take a look at the stitch. So what is it? And I do have a blind hem foot that you can use that will make it a little bit nicer. I have it on. What the trick of it is there's a groove here. And in the groove, it's letting you line up, which you'll understand in a minute. You probably got a blind hem stitch with your machine. You might have to go through the front couple pages of your instruction book and find out what foot works for you. An electronic machine, it tells me right there to use foot number R. These are important for you to understand and important for you to go to my blind hem page and to write down what stitch it is and what foot you use so that you will find this easy to do. Sometimes you don't hem things very often, but haven't you ever bought drapes and you wanted and they're longer than you wanted to? Well, this is a simple thing to do. So we're going to learn. All right. So what the stitch is first is it's a straight stitch that goes click, straight, 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 zigzag, straight, 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 zigzag. So again, I'm doing a straight, 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 zigzag, straight, 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 reach over. Now, some of you might have hand sewed before. So what were you taught to do? But you were taught to grab a little bit of what you want to catch on and then go over to the underneath of the hem and then come back and grab a little bit of it. Well, what do you think I did right there? I did the exact same thing. So I'm reaching, this is going to be where I don't want it to see, nothing to see the straight stitching, and the reach over is only going to grab a tiny, tiny little bit of that hem so it doesn't show to the other side. Now I do a whole class on hemming in my A to Z class, which isn't for all of you. If you want to know even more than what I'm telling you, then oh boy, that A to Z class, when I show you the off the fabric blind hem, it's going to blow your mind. One thing I do say in there is that you now can buy a monofilament thread of a good quality. Sulky makes one, not your grandma's old fishing wine thread. When you see invisible thread that's been in your drawer, yeah, you're laughing at me. You go throw that stuff away because that stuff's going to hurt your sewing machine. But we now have a monofilament thread. Now what that means is it doesn't show. So you can use your monofilament in your top and your bottom now if you use the good stuff. And then you don't have to worry about it showing at all because it's clear. And you can now buy it in smoke. But I am telling you to go throw that old junk away. So please, please, please trust me because that stuff doesn't work and it causes havoc in sewing machines. And you got too nice of a machine to let that happen. Sometimes I get so many emails of things and people who inherited grandma's machine and then they start using that older thread and oh boy. So it's okay. You can buy some new. All right. Now on a hem, you are going to finish off your edge of your hem. So this is the bottom of my skirt, okay? You're gonna finish that off with my overcasting stitch. I've already showed you how to do that you could just go right along there and finish it off. In the previous days, we would go like this and then turn it up like this so it was a finished edge. We have overcasting stitches. You all own them now. So I don't have to have that bulk at that hem anymore. So I don't do that anymore. But you could. I'm not telling you you can't. So I'm going to go up here like this, and I'm going to turn up my hem. And you're going to have to play with me, and you're going to have to follow these directions with me to understand this completely. Here I'm ready to do it on my fabric. Let's do it on a fabric that you can tell the difference from right and wrong a little easier. So what I'm doing is I just got a piece of cotton. You would never blind hem a piece of cotton because a cotton usually just gets a turn and a turn, which is called a hemmer foot, which I gotta show you how to do that another time. Okay, but right now I want to just pretend I'm hemming this, and I'm only using this piece of fabric to show you what I'm doing. So I'm turning up my hem, the amount you wanted to turn it up. I'm putting my pins in so the head of my pin is off the fabric. Now if I'm catching you and you haven't bought new pins ever in the last 50 years, it's pretty funny. I had a lady come in here recently and she had those old metal pins that were so tiny with the no heads in them. Honest to God, they were 60, 70 years old. We saved them for cherished moments, but I got her to buy a pair that was easier to use. They come into 1 3/4 inches now, and they're just so much nicer. So treat yourself. Okay, now here's my hem. You get what I'm doing? So I have to turn that. Now I have to sew it. So what I need you to do is I need you to grab the hem. This is the hem. This is my skirt. So I'm grabbing only the hem and letting everything else drop 1/4 inch. So here's my hem. Here's my dress. I let everything drop, so I'm only sewing on 1 layer of fabric. Oops. 1 layer of fabric, and then I'm reaching over and grabbing my fabric, reaching over. So the stitch is going to sew on 1 layer and reach over, and there's actually 3 layers because there's this, and to sew it on. So all I'm doing is grabbing the underside of my hem and letting everything else drop. When I put that in, and use a blind hem foot if you have one. If you don't, you're just going to have to be more careful, because the blind hem foot gives me a guide right here to go along so that I'm not grabbing more fabric 1 minute and less fabric the next minute. So what I'm going to do now is take my stitch. My stitch on my machine is number 31. It's on every one of your machines. It looks like a straight stitch and a zigzag, a straight stitch and a zigzag, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start stitching. It stitches on nothing, stitches on 1 layer, and then when it reaches over, it's grabbing all 3 layers. So I'm going to give it a run. If you can, if you're lucky enough, you can try a little bit. Reach back here and see if it caught. Oh yeah, looks good, right? So it's even white thread. It's hard for you to see, but I'm going to do it on that other thread in a minute. And now I look through here and I can't see nothing. Oh boy, that's a home run in the ballpark. I can continue stitching. I did my hem already, folks. See how well that's caught? And you can't see a stitch. Come on, that's pretty good. I should get applause for that one. Okay, so that is how easy your hem can be done. It's going to take you a minute to take a piece of fabric and to get this folded. Let's take this. Oh, I didn't prepare well for you. I need a piece of fabric that's okay. All right, don't do this to your pieces. Oops, hold on. Oh well, I'm sure you forgive me. All right, let's take a look. This is my garment. This is my pretty side of my fabric. Okay, so I need you to take a sheet of paper and draw all over it, or give me something that's two-sided so you can see it better. But if you just draw here, right side, okay, garment side, I'm going to turn up my hem. Do you see what I did now? My flower from my skirt is now coming up here as my hem. What I want to do is to grab my hem, okay, and let everything else drop 1/4 of an inch. So if you keep a piece of paper like this stapled to my directions, it's going to help you to remember when you do this. So I'm sewing on nothing. I'm sewing on one layer of fabric and reaching over and grabbing. So it's going again, boom, 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 over, boom, 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 over. Do you see what I'm trying to show you? It's going to take you a couple minutes to get this down, and it might take you 5 tries to get it on scrap fabric, but if you practice now, it will not scare you. You have a new machine. Learn to use these things so that you can enjoy it and have all the fun with it. So let me show you on a different piece of fabric that might show up a little bit better. You see here, it shows absolutely nothing. So now let's troubleshoot it. Now I would never blind hem on a piece of cotton material. I'm going to do with it today, I'm going to play around with it for you so I can help you troubleshoot. I can't let this not get perfect for you because it's too cool of a thing to make sure you know how to do. If you already know how, then go on past me. But later on, I'm going to show you how to shell hem and all sorts of fun stuff. Again, a lot of this is in the A to Z class. This class is designed to get you comfortable with your machine. If the A to Z class goes stronger and stronger and stronger. So if you're going to really join our craft, check that out for me. Didn't know all this could be done on your machine, did you? Didn't know you were going to have fun. And you know what? I'm still scratching the surface. Okay, here's my hem. All right. I turned it under just because it's a cotton. I only did that for photography's sake so it would show up better for you to be able to understand. I have a blind hem stitch. I'm going to grab my hem and I let everything else drop. Do you see what's happening? So I let everything drop. So I am sewing on the hem only and reaching over and grabbing the fabric. I'd really like your comments how this works for you if you finally master it, because there's a lot we can do with it. All right, so I'm going to sew, and I'm setting up my machine just how it's supposed to, but by my book. Electronically, again, it sets for itself. You're going to want about a 2.5 length probably on a mechanical machine with about a 3 width, but your book tells you. Okay, so I'm using my guide, and I'm sewing along, and there are times now that I'm going to reach underneath here. This is a very thin fabric. You couldn't hand sew that and not see your stitching. So, but let's see what it looks like. Oh gosh, how did I do so good? Okay, do you see how the white is coming through just a little bit? This is exceptional. It's just exceptional that it looks that nice. If I would have used a pink thread, no one would have noticed. Let me change it up so that I'm going to make it be a mistake on purpose. I'm going to make it wider. So that I can help you figure out how to do it on your machine. If you had like a fleece, you might want a wider stitch because it didn't catch. So now what I'm talking about is if it didn't catch or it caught too much. So I'm going to go both. Let's show you. So when I reached over here on my wool, can you see that white thread a little bit? You can really see that stitching. Where down here, I can still see it, but it's only because it's white thread. But do you see that? That's pretty wide. Well, what am I going to do? I'm going to take my width knob down 1 notch. So I'm not going to let the zigzag go over as far. Try that. And then if it's not catching, what are you going to do? You're going to make your width go up 1 notch. So maybe from a 3 to a 4, so that you are able to. So if you're doing your husband's pants, it's kind of hard because you just cut them off and you don't have any play, right? You can use the scrap that you just cut off or try another piece of fabric and get it as close. But what I really need you to do is understand the science behind it, that it's straight stitching and reaching over. I only want it to reach over to grab a tiny little bit. So your solution, if it shows too much on the other side, matching thread helps a lot. Monofilament thread might be the answer to your story, or change the width as I am. So those kind of little tidbits will help you with your hemming. There isn't anything, again, that I sew by hand. If you did a cuff here and you put the, turn it down and you have to hand stitch that, believe me, I got a way around that. I do an off the fabric blind hem with it. It's too much to talk into this course. It's into the A to Z course. But do know that those things are available to you if you are a garment instructor and you're a garment maker and you do a lot of this kind of stuff. It's really fun. Okay, I think we've mastered blind hem. For you that have different machines, you might have a zigzag that goes like I just showed you, a blind hem that goes just like I just showed you, which was number 37, I think, on my machine. You also might have a stitch that goes like this, little tiny zigzag and a reach over, and a little tiny zigzag and a reach over. It's all on all of these, it's on most of your machines, I think. Now, what is the little tiny zigzag doing? If you were doing it on a knit fabric, it's going to give you a little bit of stretch. Okay, so I've already taught you how to do it with a double needle, but now I'm talking to do it on a knit fabric that doesn't, might have a little bit of give to it. So you got a zigzag, a little zigzag to use on your regular fabric so it's got give, and then reaches over and grabs your other hem. So check those two stitches out. Make your sample, staple it to my paper, and you're going to make me very happy, and I'm going to make you very happy in the long time. Keep going at this. You really want to use every bit of it. I hope you're enjoying the class.
Hello, how are you? We are back. Okay, we have Bailey here. We have my mom here. I'm going to step back a little bit and let them kind of step in. First things in that video, when they say, she says A to Z, that is, we renamed the course years ago to Beyond the Basics. Mm-hmm. Beyond the Basics is what you get when you buy any machine with us, along with the usage classes. It's also on sale, $27 on the website. So if you go to education, I have Michelle here, and I'm going to scoot back so my mom can be in the screen. You have full access to them to ask any questions that you want. And they will talk about, we are going to start off with bi-weekly. I think we'll be very quickly here to weekly, but we're scheduling, and Michelle is filming. We're filming usage classes. We're improving the membership site. We're creating members only calls. We're going to do sew-alongs. We're going to create projects. So that's all going and happening. So I'm going to pass this over to them, and let's see what everyone, I don't know if there's any questions, but now is the time.
Hey everyone, how are you? Oh, thanks, John. Thanks for saying thank you.
They want
Sharon.
Bailey more than they want us.
I think they do.
How come the dog always wins?
Absolutely. So you guys like the video? That's good.
You can come back.
We really are excited about getting all of this launched back up onto Sew It Online, and just live again. We know what we're going to be doing next week already. And the week after, which is going to be May 1st. And that's going to be, Ed and I are going to be doing the Bondi top. And then you're going to be doing another hem, right? So what kind of hem do you want to do on that one?
There's a lot of cool ways to do it. I want to do a double needle hem since you're doing the Bondi top.
Mm-hmm.
Now the Bondi top, the reason why we want to do it is because on the high-end stores, they're selling clothing now made out of our quilting cotton.
Mm-hmm.
And Etta and Michelle have taken this Bondi top. You didn't wear yours today, right?
I didn't wear mine. I have like 6 of them though.
Yeah. And you're going to love it. And you're going to use up some of your fabric.
Mm-hmm.
Our Etta was going to be here today, but she broke her foot.
Yeah.
So we're
Hi,
just,
Etta.
hi, Etta.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're on. You're missed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Bondi top, you can do on a serger.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know how to do it on your sewing machine, if you don't own a serger, we're going to go over the overcasting stitches on a regular sewing machine with a special foot. You probably have, and you don't know what you're doing. So I'd like you to spend a little bit of time in the next 2 weeks to say, how would you finish a seam on cotton? Mm-hmm. I don't want to go down with a straight stitch and back with a zigzag. No way. You got a better stitch than that.
Right.
So let's make sure we show the overcasting for the sewing machine. And then of course, if you have a serger, it's 10 times faster.
Right. And the Bondi top is made with cotton fabrics.
Yeah.
And we have at least 5 different changes to that pattern to make it so much easier and to suit your body type, which
We're-
makes it so much easier.
We're doing it right now out front. So
Mhm.
it's kind of funny that there's like 8 gals in there making it.
Mhm.
But I would have never wanted to use a quilter's cotton into making a top for me personally, right?
Right.
But now they're making them much softer.
Yeah.
The fabric's coming out is a
Mhm.
different feel in high-end fabric, and it's fabulous for everything.
Right. Even those new rayons are so soft and buttery out there that you can really make some really nice fabrics, really nice tops with them.
So of course, Aretta, if you don't
Yeah.
know her, she's a fabulous seamstress, one of the best there is,
Mm-hmm.
and she changed the necklines. So we'll be able to show you how we changed the neckline
Mhm.
to all different styles so that it looks a little different. These things can be made in half an hour.
Yeah, yeah. And we actually even took the back and put the back on the front. She switched the pattern pieces. It's really cool.
All our
How
gals
we do
went to
it.
a convention and they all
Yeah.
matched.
Yeah. And yes, I see
Let's
Deborah's
see.
asking if there's going to be a serger class for the Bondi class.
There you go. Hi,
Probably,
Deb.
we do that.
Where are you, Deb? How come
she's
you're
right
not
there.
here today? Hi, Kathy.
Actually, I think she did stop in today. So yeah.
Patti Otto's website.
Okay.
Greatcopy.com.
Okay, everyone. Patti Otto, if you want a great pattern with great instructions, you need to go to greatcopy.com. Did I say that right?
You got it right.
With Patti Otto.
It's linked in the comments.
You make sure you check her out and get her pant pattern. We've made her
Mhm.
slacks. We've made everything. She'll be in the store later this year. And I think what we want to do is fitted jackets. Maybe we should ever do a video on fitted pants. Not fitted. We're talking about loose ones, but feel and
Mhm.
look nice. So we can get some more videos on with her. Can you let us know what you want, what you're
Mhm.
missing, what you're having issues with? Michelle's the absolute pro
Mhm.
on any serger in the world. We got every trick, and we'd be glad to do one of these
Yeah.
to answer a bunch of questions.
Absolutely. Oh, and I see Denise has got a question. Yes, the sleeves can be made longer on the Bondi top. We've done that one. Yep. What else did we need to do? Someone asked about the having closed caption for the videos. That's a you question, Connor, and we'll pass that on to you. And what else? There's a question on what needles do you use for knits? I guess.
Well, that's a whole story in itself.
Mhm.
I think that's one video that I should do is on all the different needles because they change. How do you guys know about a microtech needle? Do you know the difference between a jersey needle and a stretch needle? There's a whole lot of differences on there.
Mhm.
So first you're going to try off with a knit needle. It's called stretch needle. Schmetz. Please don't buy your needles on Amazon. Please don't buy them at Walmart. We're finding that the needles they're buying big boxes of them for so you're getting 100 for $20 where you would normally get 4. No, you'd get 20.
20, yeah.
Okay, they're usually about $1 a piece. These needles are breaking the hooks, girls. These needles are breaking the hooks in your machine. I just had one. We could tell right away because we do never replace a hook. And we're having that. So the needles and the bobbins, please, please, please trust me. Your local dealer. Call us if you need help. We'll be glad to mail you what you need. But
Yeah, even if it says Schmetz, it's not.
Okay,
It's
so
a knockoff.
what else we got in there? I saw some
Any other comments?
comments.
We had
They
fitted
asked-
jacket.
They asked
with long
something
arms.
about where these patterns are in the store. Again, greatcopy.com.
but not the Bondi.
Not the
top.
Bondi top. We'll let you know where the Bondi top is coming from. We'll get that information posted for you.
Type down here. Anybody who wants me to order that Bondi top, it's probably a $12 pattern and get it out to you. Could you just put it on here and then we'll call you? So put your phone number right on there and then we can call you and figure
It's so
out.
easy. And I think there's only like 4 or 5 pattern pieces in it at most. I mean, it's very, very easy and it's so versatile for that.
But we got a lot of gals around here that are on diets. Aren't we all the time?
Of us, all the time.
But anyways, Donna comes in the other day and she's got it on and it curves at the bottom. But it's not real. It fits here, of course, but not tightly. And she looked fabulous. It was a style that made her body
It's very flattering.
flattering.
Yes,
That's what I want to say.
absolutely very flattering on her.
So It was very impressive. I told her to
Mhm.
go make 10 more.
So everyone's asking, can we buy notions from you? And she's saying she'll get it for you. I have a new website coming out in 10 days. Okay.
Here we
And
go.
and then we will start putting all the notions on and different things like that. So it's very close to happening, but we'll have for Jan's favorite needle recommendations. We're going to have stabilizer. We're going to have rulers. We're going to have her favorite sewing tools that you'll be able to get.
So let us know if you like, if you want a needle class, we need to do this. There's ways. I do hemming. I just showed you one. I want you to master that, because when I get on you with another time, I'm going to show you how to do all your hand sewing. And it's done like a blind temp, but in a different technique. Those kind of things are going to blow you away. So I was thinking about it the other day. I've been in this business since I'm 16. I'm 68. So add it up. And when I was 16, I was taught by a gal who was probably my age now. And she taught me all these tricks. But you think
Yeah.
about it, and there's not very many people that know the tricks that
No.
Mrs. Hall knew way back then.
There you go.
It's a lot of fun.
We need to get Sharon Ramsey in here. We
Yeah.
need to do videos with her. She's an amazing serger person.
Oh.
And she just did our social, and
She's a detail nut. She's absolutely fabulous.
yeah, so we'll be getting her in. We just talked with Debbie.
Why don't, did you guys ask them, say, hey, if there's something you want to learn, can you comment? Put it in the
I'm
comments
trying.
right now.
You can always lengthen the sleeves if you want to.
It actually has like cap sleeves, but you can always lengthen them. Just because of the pattern pieces, it's very easy to do.
Betsy, what serger do you own? Did you get given to you? Well, if you can turn that one back. Needle class and presser foot class. Good, Jenny. I agree with you. Needle and presser feet. Okay.
Yeah.
We got a lot to do. We got them ready for
We'll
you.
be busy.
We'll be bringing them on. Now, a lot is on Sew It Online. If you want to become a member, I can direct you as to what to do. We can start that and think about that. If you want to get more information, we could explain it the next time we come in. Michelle's got a class on there that's got 18 episodes, and it'll teach you everything that there is out here. So it makes it lots
Which
and lots
class?
of fun. Applique quilt block.
Applique.
Double needle quilting, double needle pin tucking, triple needle, chenille, bobbin work, fringe work, topping. Okay, you guys talk. I'm going to go see if I can find the top. Can you just talk for 2 more minutes?
Yep. I bet Deb's got a picture of the Bondi top. I bet she's got a picture of the pattern. I bet she's got a pattern right out there. Oh, and those of you that asked, we're going to be posting pictures of Applique Black of the Month here shortly. Jan's got a whole slew of them.
And what did you just release on the membership site? So we're working on new content, filming it. We're about 10 episodes ahead. We're launching these, and then you just unleashed, I believe, some Stash Buster content.
Right. So I just got done videotaping traditional half square triangles, and then we have another one. Do you want me to spill the beans on the other ones?
Yeah. Which one's the one that we release?
We just released the half square triangles,
Yeah.
the traditional, no papers or anything, just traditional half square triangles. I think it's like just like a 7-10 minute video, super fast.
I think it's 4 minutes. It's really cool.
Crazy fast. And then I made about 4 or 5 others that are Stash Busters. And these are simple blocks that are made in other quilts. So if you know the size that you need in other quilt patterns, easy ways to make them. And you can make them super crazy fast and go through your stash. We want Stash Busters. We want get rid of the stuff. We bought all this fabric. We want you to go through it.
We want easy projects.
Easy.
That's what we like about the
Easy
Stash
and fast.
Busters. It's easier. It takes away our stash to create something, and that's our big thing. There is so much going to happen next with filming. Susan, can we purchase different feet for the AccuFeed for the Janome S7? Mom, can you get different feet for the AccuFeed on the S7?
Darn right.
Which ones do we have? Stitch in the Ditch?
1/4 inch clear foot. A new zipper foot. It's the most fabulous thing ever. Can I show you the Bondi top?
Yeah,
Well,
let
I
me
need
answer
time.
this question before. So if you go to Janome's website, there's standard accessories, there's optional accessories. We can do all of those. Sometimes there's a special order. And if you let me get my site done next week, I'll have all those on there. They're coming up too.
You don't want to stay.
We
on
will
all
have
this?
presser feet on the website too, but it's as soon we'll just be uploading them. We'll probably start off with something Jan wants to promote, and we'll be able to buy the small stuff on there. But a lot of this stuff we can do over the phone, and it is there.
Okay. And we'll double check that because I was able to click on it, but we'll double check if you had an issue with the half square triangles. We'll double check that. But this is the Bondi top. Like I said, some of the ladies are making this.
They're next door. I took it away from them.
And
just in the middle of
so
sewing
do you
the seam.
see-
Look at this with the back seam, back yoke different. Do you see the pleat? Very, very flattering. And then it's curved on the edges.
And you can even make it, you can make it a simple, this is like a high-low. Okay,
This gal's never sewn before. She's out there sewing
first
on
time, first time.
on a $99 singer. But isn't that
Yep.
cool?
And
She's so excited. She's making a skirt to match.
oh my gosh. So we're going to go over multiple ones that you can actually make with or without the pleat in the back. You can make longer sleeves, different necklines, a V shape. There's just, again, multiple ways that you can change this Bondi top. So easy things to do. What else do we have? Let's see.
Giveaways.
Giveaways. How do you want to handle it, Connor?
You tell us about what each item. We're gonna do 3 giveaways.
Okay, 3 giveaways.
I'll pick the winners and you can tell me what.
Okay, so the first one we have is a Kate Fawcett design umbrella. So you are going to be in style for April showers and May flowers. So you have the choice. I won't look. This is the Kate Fawcett umbrella.
We're going off the comments, okay?
You're going off
I'm going random up and down. I'm
So you
not
can't
whatever
see.
it lands on.
Okay.
And that's the thing. If you go live, we get to choose it. If you're not live,
Oh
you
my
ain't,
God, look
you
at
ain't
you
gonna win.
scrolling.
We know. Here she
I mean,
is.
she is.
Linda.
Linda Marlowe.
You are the winner. Linda, it's best to go to sodaonline.com, go to the live chat, say, Connor, I am the winner. Put your address in there unless you're local. And
I wrote your name down.
just go in there. Yeah, we'll have it in the box here at the store. And congratulations. It's always good to win.
There you go.
Always
right, number
good
2.
to win. What is
This
this?
is a
I
mini
need
iron.
one of these.
Do you even iron?
Yeah.
Did you iron your shirt?
Yeah.
Mini iron. Mini iron.
We got another winner.
Okay. This is great for all fabrics.
Jan Peterson.
Jan Peterson.
And she wants to know about closed caption. I have to look at that. I think a lot of that's built into the membership site and it's all in there and on the sites. Maybe not with live streams, but when videos play.
Gotcha.
And anybody that's had different sound, I think the sound on the production of the first one was a little low. That's why the second one sounded better. So Tyler will be watching out for that. Thank you everyone for the feedback.
Now this one, you are not going to be how big this thing is. It's a Project Tote Tula Pink. You won't even be, this will fit the whole screen.
This is a
Look
big deal. You want me to
crazy
scoot this
big
back?
This thing is. Look how crazy big. Let me see which way I'm going. I can't be a newscaster like for the weather. Look how crazy big this thing is.
Hold on. My mom wants back in. I got to open the door.
Let's see if there's a size on here. I don't even, it just says Happy Go Lucky. This is cool. Look how big this thing is.
They're putting their hoops in it.
Oh my gosh, what a great idea. Wow.
Putting the hoops in it.
Mats and hoops. Tula Pink. Who's got this one?
I didn't choose. We'll see.
You're
You got to
waiting
give
for
a
her.
lot of comments. A lot of this choosing from the comments, up and down, not looking. And here we go. We got another winner. If you can see your names up on the screen, if you can go up and send me a message with your address,
Who is that?
name. Lois, you are the winner. Congratulations.
Lois
And
S.
we will
Okay.
ship you this. This is going to go in the mail.
Thank
And
you.
get it. Congratulations. We're always doing giveaways. There's all sorts of fun stuff. I think we're going to do some member only giveaways every month where if you are part of the membership, you get a chance to be in our bigger giveaways. And there's just a lot. Mom, do you have anything else to come over with?
Nope, I'm all good. Just keep us informed on what you need.
Mhm.
We really appreciate the input.
This
Yeah.
replay is available for 3 days. Okay.
Okay.
So if it's Thursday, if you can't make it, or you want to watch it again, you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So everyone can go there. Then after that, they get locked in. Some of these are already in our membership site. They get locked in the membership site. It never comes out. You have to be a member to rewatch this. Okay. So it's always great to do our membership. It's $29 a month or $197. I know we did have to do a price raise, but we do have a coupon code that I just put in there, $50 off. So I know, so if someone missed out on that price raise, we're giving you another chance at the coupon code. But it's awesome. We're doing it. Michelle is helping me side by side develop content and planning, and she has all of hers already filmed in ahead. And my mom over here is going to come in, and we pretty much have it all planned, and we are taking this up a notch by couple notches. I mean, the amount of planning that we have now is insane. We will quickly be to weekly live streams, but we're bi-weekly right now. I will let you know. We are going to do member only calls. Those are coming. We are bringing on educators from all over the world. We're bringing people in for the events in the store. If you can't come to us, we have this online, but road trips are becoming a very big deal and very common at Pins and Needles. That is the store. Everything else in the support is all here with you at sewedonline.com.
Well, let's plan the Bondi Top in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I think after that, from the comments, I think we should do a needle seminar. I think I could show you so much and inform you. I think it'd be worth it.
Yeah. And
So,
then
keep in
Sharon,
touch.
I'm going to write down that you want how to knit, how to do the hems on the serger, the knit
cool.
fabric. So we'll get that for you also.
Donna, do you have Serger classes? Yes. And if you purchase it from us, so you get it for free. It's called the Serger Confidence Course. Michelle created it a few years ago. It's 33 videos, and it's one of the best. I mean, she has a lot of content on the site, but that course is very detailed. There's a lot of people that go through it, and it's awesome. So if anyone on here says, hey, I bought a machine, I want a course, I'll give you one for free. Absolutely. So if you bought a serger, I'll give you that course. You bought a quilting machine, I'll give you a quilting course, applique block of the month. If you but honestly, the membership is priceless. Everyone's super happy with it. It's a lot of education in there. And my goal is to have a class calendar of online classes by the end of the year that is packed. So these are the beginning of it. We got member only calls. I want to do sew-alongs. I want to get everyone doing charity sewing. I want these live streams to be there. I think we're really good on courses, but just, weekly webinars for members coming out. It's a ton. So I appreciate everyone's patience with us. We're super excited to have a full-time videographer. Tyler's, you'll be seeing him. Maybe you'll just be actually seeing the camera, but it's a big deal. I have the Triumph. Do you have a course for that? Yes. Serger Confidence course is what you want.
Yep. I show you how to thread it on the Serger Confidence course. And it's very easy to do. Very easy to do. And monofilament thread. You sell monofilament? I know we have it in the store.
Coupon code 50. How do I find out more about the membership? Let me get you a link right here. If you go to sewedonline.com, go to education there, and then membership is here. I will put this in the chat right here. There's a link to the membership, and that's how you sign up. You instantly get emails and text messages to help make sure you're logged in. We do have a support team there, and they are there. Do you have a course on what to make on a cover stitch machine? I have the Euphoria. Well, I think we're actually filming a new video course that we just, because the applaud of the video we just filmed about 2 hours ago. But would the Euphoria be mentioned in that one?
The Euphoria is a cover hem only, designated only cover stitch machine. And I believe I have that in the Serger Confidence. And I believe I have some classes on Sew It Online for the Euphoria. But I'm sure I have videos on that.
And then you could also have the Baby Lock 60-day trial. We can give you a class over where they have more detailed stuff over directly with Baby Lock. We have a lot of it too. But when we do the membership, we try to be not focused on a brand. We want, like, a lot of our content is what you saw today, where it's showing you, we're using a Baby Lock, but we're not focused on saying, press this button, do this, do that. We're showing you sewing because everyone has different brands and machines. And Jenny, yes, I can help you with that. Go message me. Anyone that wants to do different brands of machines, the last thing I want is to be teaching you all about one machine. So we sell a lot of our favorite machines on the internet. It's probably where a lot of you have seen us and see a lot of our videos out there. But we film really good usage classes over that. So if you're out of state, you can learn that really quick. But everything outside the usage center, 80 to 90% of the videos in Sew It Online are made for any machine. So we'll see there.
Sue, I'll double check and make sure we have a video on threading the Euphoria. And literally, it was about 2-3 hours ago that we just did a video on the brand new Applaud, which is a cover stitch and creative cover stitch machine. So we will double check on the Euphoria, make sure that that is recorded as a threading machine in the Serger Confidence course.
Do you have a class over hooping? Susan, you're probably talking about the embroidery machine. I think you already had one. Oh, you've got the NQ. So Susan, you would go to usage, and then on the usage center, there's an embroidery usage. And it's going to show you what stabilizers, when to hoop, when to do things like that. Also with that NQ 1700E, that's very similar to the 3550 videos, which is popular. I would watch them 2 embroidery videos that she has over the NQ 3550. There's not much difference between your 1700E and that NQ 3550. I don't know why this does that.
Where did that come from?
It just pops up. We have class over the FOF 950. I don't have much over the FOF, but
That's something to look into.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever go here and say, if you request something, say, hey, we don't do that. We have plans for FOF. We can at least make you like the basics of it, you know, and I could just go through how to get threaded, how to do the basics and that. They're not as but I know we're doing a lot of detailed over usage. So anything that you request, we're definitely open to hearing about it and doing it. Michelle's doing a lot with it, but I don't know. There's so much to film and make, and yeah, the 2 fingers brings up balloons, I guess. So let's see if they come up again.
That is so cool. We should do that. Like give
Do you
prizes away.
service Janome and Baby Lock machines? Most definitely. I have 5 to 6 techs back there. We have a ton. It's awesome.
Yep.
So to hear about member only, you live out of state. That's why I built it. That's why Sew It Online is separate than what Pins and Needles is, because there's just thousands and probably millions of you out there that just can't drive. Like even like there's people 3-4 hours that drive to Pins and Needles. It's awesome, but the majority of you are never going to come to Cleveland, and that's why we built Sew It Online, so you can have the same fun inspiration that you have in this store and from the sewing community, which started from the store, but now we're much bigger than what it is because we're bringing in different educators, and we're much bigger than the store could ever be from what we did with Sew It Online. So it's I forgot what the question was, because I'm hearing stuff about the dog. So well, yeah, so we do definitely service Baby Lock and Janome. We have 5 techs. A lot of people, when we sell machines, we tell them to keep their box and they ship it back if there's ever a problem. And luckily, I've sold thousands of machines, and I barely get people to ship it back. But we do have that support. There's no doubt and everything. And I got to be honest, we have some freaking awesome techs for all that have came from all different brands. Some are good, better at Bernina,
right.
some are better at Janome, some are all of them. I mean, we have some really talented guys back there. So that's something I think we pride ourselves on.
Yeah. We love when you come in for road trips to the store. We love when you say, hey, I just came in from Kentucky or wherever. We love to hear when you come in, or let us know when you're coming in. So
I think the plan is just more and more events. There's no doubt. I know Michelle is putting on more open sews where she's just going to be, you can come in and just sew and get your projects done.
Yeah.
I know that another big announcement is Debbie Martinez. If you haven't watched our quilt show video, we have a video on how to go to the quilt show. It's on YouTube. Okay, go watch it. It's an hour and 11 minutes long. So we don't want you to miss out on anything. And in there is our friend Debbie Martinez, who is so talented. And she is, I mean, she just brings something different to the table in so many different areas of sewing. She does a lot of quilting, but she does it in a different way than anyone else, and she's teaching it. She's coming here a lot, and we have her, I think, planned right now for early June. So a lot of people are going to drive in and see her and do everything. And when she comes in, here's what we have planned. I think we're going to come out with a video. You're going to start to see her all over the internet, just like Jan. Then you're going to come in and we're going to have an event, like a 2-hour, 3-hour live stream or something, maybe 4-hour live stream. Okay. And then when we do the 4-hour live stream, that'll be paid. You'll have to sign up for it, just like you see something in the class. But if you're a member, it's going to be free. And then she might be in a webinar, just like a short one like this with us. And then on top of it, she will have a hands-on event in the store, and people can come and do that, fly in. So we're really excited to have her as an ambassador for
Yeah.
Sew It Online.
She does the most incredible things on a long arm.
Yeah, she
On a
just
mid-arm,
did
on a key.
couching on the long arm at the show.
Unbelievable.
Go watch that video, check her out. I mean,
Yeah.
she's
She's not boring to watch. Like
yeah.
I mean, it's just unbelievable the threads she uses, the thread painting she does, couching on jeans on a long arm. I mean, it's insane what she does.
Cool. And then you know what else I have? I have a free course called So What's Possible we came out with. And that's for anyone who says, I want to be involved in this, but you're not sure like that. Get my free course. And my goal with this, we're going to build this out. I put some old videos in it, but we're going to film the whole thing. And we just want, I'll send that out in a replay link with this, the So What's Possible sign up. And that's where anyone could go and get in my app and my community for free. And what part of that is anyone that wants to get in for free, say, I'm not sure about it yet, is you have the app, and then I put in the community center. It's not loaded. It is loaded. And you get to introduce yourself. You're going to making me review myself. There's a charity sewing in there. There is the buyer, which we need to add to. There's the buyer's guide, which helps people know what to look for when purchasing a machine. And the So What's Possible course, which is panels with my mom, making a skirt on a serger. I bet you that's with you. Quilt as a go with my mom. Using your decorative stitches to the fullest with my mom. Getting started with embroidery with my mom. Making a simple scarf with cuddle fabric. Getting started with sewing patterns with Michelle, which is really awesome. And a 10-minute table runner with Etta. That's all free. I'm giving that course. I will send that in a link after this. And the chances are, as soon as you get through that course, you're going to upgrade to the membership. But check it out. I want to make sure everyone has access to be able to get into sewing and see what is happening today. It is not the sewing that you grew up with, that you did with your grandma. It's opened up to a new world, and many people don't have that opportunity to see all that. Can't walk through our classroom and see all what's possible, what's going on, sergers, the long arms, the embroidery machines. I mean, it's just different. And that's why we've created that course. We want everyone to see that.
She said, if you do hearts, you get hearts. Can I do a heart?
Try it.
Do a heart. Look at hearts. There you go. Can I do a heart?
There it is.
Look at you.
Mine worked.
Works.
Mine worked. Deb, I hope you bring your daughter out and get a machine.
Yeah.
Please tell us. We want to see you. If you're coming a long way, only thing I do ask is call us and let us know you're coming. It helps us add you to the calendar, and it helps my sister plan the day. Because if you do come to us and drive to get a machine and you have to leave, we typically try to open your machine with you, show you how to thread it, and make you feel comfortable with it before you leave. So it's always good if we know you're coming. That way we say, hey, we do have this person coming, and we can put a usage class. Karen, how long is the coupon code good for? I don't know. I'm not going to take it away yet. I was raising it when I did these webinars when I ended in December, and I just didn't want to start them and have anyone miss out. Oh, it does this too. And if anyone miss out, or I just want it to be fair for everybody. So it'll probably be there, to the end of the month.
Jane's asking about info on the Baby Lock Applaud. When do you think that'll go out?
So the best thing is to call me, and I will call the 877-306-2863. That goes to my cell phone. Tell me about it, and the best thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hop you on the phone with this girl right here. She's just a serger queen, and her not only are her usage classes amazing, but talking to her and seeing what we want to accomplish is going to help you with the purchase. The Applaud is on sale right now, $34.99, save $1,000. We threw in some extra foot kits in our recent videos. We're making a new video over that. It's there. The best thing is to call. Let me hear about what you want to accomplish. I have a lot of answers in the research to help you with your research. A lot of us are researching and thinking, but then when you need to come to us for the questions to get them answered before we make that big decision, and then if I can't answer it, I set you up with one of our specialists.
Jennifer, same thing. You know, if you're a fairly new serger, you know, looking for a new serger, you know, we ask a lot of questions of what kind of a sewer are you? And we kind of pinpoint that serger that's just right for you.
Yeah, the most popular one is the Baby Lock Victory. Okay,
Mhm.
here's why. If you're new and you're not ready to spend, you know, too much, because they go up very high in price. Okay, they're not very cheap, but you get a lot with them. So for the Victory is usually like 2,000. It's on sale for $14.99, 10% off, $13.49 right now.
Mhm.
I had specials in my quilt show going, and then we did. I'll throw an inspiration guide, thread, and a foot kit. Okay, so that's like another $400 in value, and it doesn't have tensions, and that's the big deal. Is you got the jet air threading where you can thread it up. It's going to go automatically for you. We don't have to worry about setting up our serger. It comes with an inspiration guide, which is really helpful, and it doesn't have tensions on there, auto tensions, and that's like a really big deal when you get in the sergers. That's your best bet right there. If that's there, the Celebrate is usually on sale for $9.99. Now it is $100 off because it's 10%, $8.99.
Mhm.
That's a killer deal too. Those things used to be $2,000 all day. I mean,
Right.
it is on their sergers, or now is the time with them.
Mhm.
But we're there.
Yeah. Some of you are asking, you're frustrated with your auto threader. Any sewing machine that you are threading, number one rule is always do a needle down, needle up in your machine before you even thread the machine. And that will set your needle exactly where it needs to be before you thread your needle. So try that first.
Yeah, that was Carol. Yeah. Depends, Carol. We'd like to know what machine you have too.
That
But
helps. Yeah.
because not all needle threaders are made the same. I mean, it is the machines that I recommend in our videos and that we really promote a lot. There's always certain reasons, and we always switch brands for different price ranges, because some ones that between the $500 and $1,000 range have awesome needle threaders, where other ones don't. Those are the ones we really promote to you, because that's a big deal. We want you to do there. Carol, your M7,
Yeah.
there's probably a video over that in the usage.
Actually, there is. And the number one key for the M7, you have to lock it. So on the far right-hand side, you use that little key and you lock your machine. Before you do that, you do a needle up, needle down, lock your machine. And after you use that thread guide that is right above the needle, you bring that thread and you have to bring it all the way over to the left, all the way over to the left. And then you put it up over that number 9, bring the thread towards you to cut it on the side of the machine, and that needle threader will work every single time. I will FaceTime you and show you exactly how to do it.
I think we're gonna film video over that. We're adding all these usage videos, okay?
Mhm.
And we have a lot over the M7. They turned the M7 into the M8, and then the M6 came out, and it's all based off the same frame. Then they built the M17.
Mhm.
We have very good videos over the M7, but we're adding a little bit over the M6 and the stitch regulation over the M8 and a little bit of differences. Those will be out in 10 days.
We'll do that real close video of doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that.
So those will come out. If you want those videos, just go to live chat and ask me. Just get the membership if you don't have it. Like, those are in there.
Yeah.
And we'll film.
Yeah.
We'll
The
we'll have
M7
it.
is there's all kind of videos on the M7, and I know we have it threading that M7, but locking that needle down is so important. So important.
Sarah, the 3550 needle threader should work every time. It needs an adjustment.
Needle down, needle up.
Yeah,
is
needle down,
biggest
needle
thing.
up to get that position perfectly, and then hit the needle threader on the side, and it's going to work. There's the 3550 needle threader is fantastic. All right, we're going to end this.
Yeah.
We will be back. Did you say May 1st?
May 1st, 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. We'll be moving to weekly soon, but not quite yet. And anyone needs anything, sewedonline.com. You can call the number and always reach me. I can always get you on the phone with my mom, Michelle, any of the awesome staff here. And we're here for you. We got massive, massive plans. Join that membership. You won't regret it. And I'll give you a 14-day money-back guarantee. So if you go in and say, this ain't for me, don't worry about it. I'll give you your money back, no questions asked. So we got a lot of content we're building. We got the full-time videographer. Tyler is in. We went with the whole month, and I said, you got to be close. You got to be close. You got to be close. My girls want right up on the needle. I've produced a lot of videos, and we want the angles right for you. And if you don't have that, it's not good. Gina, the membership on our courses shows private space. Depends. Let me see what membership you have, what it is. It could be wrong. Go to live chat. I'll get you figured out. Go to live chat's the best thing. It goes dings me right in my pocket. I can get you on the phone with support, everything. I'm always on live chat. I'm there. So, all right, we're going to end this. Thanks so much. It was super good to see everybody. It was super fun and fulfilling to get these going again. And we'll see you on 13 days from now.
Sounds good.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.